channel, baby.
Yeah.
What it do, Half and Jake family. Welcome back to the channel, baby.
Yes.
It's your boy Half.
And your girl Jay.
And we back
with another reaction video.
All right, y'all, man. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel.
Welcome back, y'all.
We about to get into some more reactions, man. This is gonna be some nice little deep conversation reactions. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be deep conversation reactions. Hopefully, you guys got a chance to check out the last reaction we just dropped. And with that being said, let them know who we're gonna react to today.
We are reacting to "Queer Theory is Not Black History." This Ron DeSantis.
So queer theory is not black history. So I wonder what made them title it that way.
Right.
So let's jump into it, man. But before we do, everybody else out there who has not yet subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button.
Yes.
Turn your post notifications on.
Yes.
Like and share this video.
Yes.
And comment down below, baby. Come and join the squad, man.
Come on.
Half and Jay.
It's free.
Free of charge.
It's free.
Plus, we over here kicking off
what?
Good vibes, baby. Good vibes. Boom.
Boom.
So I found out, y'all, I need some, well, I don't need none. I ain't gonna say I need some, but I want some veneers. You know what I'm saying? I want some veneers. I heard, or I found out by my dentist that it's gonna cost about $12,000. And that's just for the top part. That's just the top. So you top and bottom, $24,000. I guess I won't be getting me no veneers. Let's go.
Governor, on the AP African American Studies course that was rejected by the state, been a lot of criticism of that move. People saying, you know, this is exactly what we were fearing with the individual freedom bill. I don't know if you or the commissioner could maybe expand a little bit more about what was in that course.
So. As you know, in the state of Florida, our education standards not only don't prevent, but they require teaching Black history, all the important things. That's part of our core curriculum. This was a separate course on top of that for advanced placement credit. And the issue is we have guidelines and standards in Florida. We want education, not indoctrination. If you fall on the side of indoctrination, we're going to decline. If it's education.
So they're saying basically they're doctoring up the history of Black history. Mm-hmm. They're adding on to the history of what people may feel about it and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is we have guidelines and standards in Florida. We want education, not indoctrination. If you fall on the side of indoctrination, we're going to decline. If it's education, then we will do this course. So when I heard it didn't meet the standards, I figured, yeah, they may be doing this here. It's way more than that. This course on Black history, what's one of the lessons about? Queer theory. Now, who would say that an important part of Black history is queer theory? That is somebody pushing an agenda on our kids.
Right.
And so when you look to see they have stuff about intersectionality, abolishing prisons, that's a political agenda. And so that's the wrong side of the line for Florida standards. We believe in teaching kids facts and how to think, but we don't believe they should have an agenda.
So I'm going to clear up, because just in case y'all haven't seen the video before this one, now that I'm seeing this video, I'm understanding why he's trying to reject a certain part of the Black history that they're trying to add in.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But the video that we just reacted to, the way
how it was edited.
Right, how it was edited, made it seem like
he was just like
not for it.
Abolishing Black history, period.
Right.
But
right. I agree. Like you can't doctor history.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And then adding on queer theory, like
how that has anything to do with Black history?
Nothing to do with Black history.
Yeah.
But you have those who are upset with him and threatening to move out of Florida, and just because because he's speaking the truth.
Right.
Like, I don't.
That's crazy right there. I agree with what he's saying.
I do too.
To be honest with you. So let's see what else he has to say.
teaching kids facts and how to think, but we don't believe they should have an agenda imposed on them. When you try to use Black history to shoehorn in queer theory, you are clearly trying to use that for political purposes.
Exactly.
Governor, one of the AP studies that course parts that have been listed as concerning is the topic of movements for Black lives. Can you describe what about that is concerning, as some people are calling it,
Is that
calling
what
Black history inferior?
Is that part of the? So if you read actually what's in there, they're advocating things like abolishing prisons. Now that's a radical political position. You're free to take that in your own life. I don't think very many people would think that that would actually work. But how is that being taught as fact to be able to do that? And I also think it's not fair to say that somehow abolishing prisons is somehow linked to like Black experience, that that's what Black people want. I don't think that's true at all. I think they want law and order, just like anybody else wants law and order. So that is more of ideology being used under the guise of history, and we want to do history. That's what our standards for Black history are. It's just cut and dried history. You learn all the basics, you learn about the great figures. And, you know, I view it as American history. I don't view it as separate history.
Right.
You know, we have history in a lot of different shapes and sizes. Right. People that have participated to make the country great, people that have stood up when it wasn't easy, and they all deserve to be taught. But abolishing prisons, being taught to high school kids, as if that's somehow a fact, no, that's not appropriate.
The Parental Rights and Education Act, which some people say is unfairly nicknamed Don't Say Gay, I've interviewed Floridians, and over the holidays I interviewed Texans and people from Ohio. And they're under the impression that the law applies to all schools and all grades. But when you read the bill says it only applies to not teach gender identity or sexual orientation from kindergarten to third grade. And when I tell these people this, mostly even liberals agree. Oh yeah, if it's only elementary school, that's fair. But a lot of people are under the impression there's all grade levels, all schools.
Look,
so for the commissioner and you, do you feel this poor messaging from your office or from the legislature telling the people the real facts about the law so people don't get confused?
I don't think it's poor messaging. I mean, I think you have corporate outlets, media outlets, who push agendas. And in Florida, everyone was very clear on it. I mean, some may not be, but I mean, I think the election results were a good determination that those narratives, those false narratives, were rejected by Floridians. Because we've been getting them for years and years. Everything we do is a false narrative, and then a couple weeks later, months later, people just move on and like, yeah, you know what, the governor was right on that when he said that. So that's just kind of been the pattern. How corporate media projects this outside of our borders was just not something that was necessarily as pertinent to us as we're governing this state here. But I think that it's instructive to look at that element and then ask yourself, any of the stuff we're doing with, like, you know, the schools, you're talking about this AP course, if they're telling you something that seems like, wow, that seems a little off, do you think that they're telling you the full story, or do you think that they're trying to shade that in a way to advance their agenda? And I would say 9 times out of 10, you know, they're shading it to try to advance whatever agenda they may have. And so that's just the nature of it, but, you know, we're going to...
He's speaking truth right now.
Right,
bro.
and
Like,
so many people are upset.
Yeah. He's speaking 100%.
Right.
Facts
I don't
right now.
understand what people don't get out of what he's saying. I don't understand why a lot of people are so upset. A lot of Black people are upset over facts, over the
Yeah,
this is it's mind blowing.
I can see if he was like flat out saying, you know, don't teach no Black history, period.
Right.
Whether it's the right or whether it's the wrong.
Right.
I can see if he was saying that. He's not saying that. What he's saying is, okay, listen, I'm okay with us teaching Black history because, as he just stated, it's a thing that they have in Florida anyway.
Right.
Is to teach Black history, right? So
The facts, though.
right, the facts about Black history. So he's okay with the facts.
Right.
But he's not okay with you doctoring up the history to try to make it seem like this is what Black people may want, or this is what you know the agenda is for Blacks, or you know whatever the case may be. No, that's just like if we doctored up history about the natives. the Native Americans. You know what I'm saying? Like what doctor. So they're not gonna want to hear nothing that we doctor up about their history. They want to know the facts about their history.
Right.
And that's just what it is.
And I know if I lived in Florida, there's no way I would want my child learning to be implemented with queer theory.
At all.
Not at all.
At all.
That's something you decide on your own free will, something you learn on your own. Like, there's no need for it to be taught in schools.
Right. And then he said demolish the prisons.
Right. Abolish.
Abolish the prison. Why would we want to abolish the prison?
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of making it seem like we're the only ones. You know what I'm saying? Who's
advocating for it.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Whatever agenda they may have. And so that's just the nature of it. But, we're going to continue to do what's right. And I think one of the things people can count on me for is that if you're looking for me to stand up for you, I am not going to be swayed by false media.
So people feel that part of the reason why your office or legislature has not messaged this out clearly to the people is because you want to appeal to the crowd that are really, really anti-gay.
It has nothing to do with that. First of all,
right.
Hi, Mark Barton at Sandy Hook Promise here.
Right. Yeah. Like, come on, man.
When the gunman shot his way into Sandy Hook Elementary School on December 14th, 2012.
Having any sexual content in elementary school is inappropriate. It's wrong. And I think the...
Wait, what did he say?
It has nothing to do with that. First of all, having any sexual content in elementary school is inappropriate.
Facts.
It's wrong. And I think the gender ideology is something that is very problematic. When you have very young kids, and if you have a teacher saying, well, what gender would you like to be?
Right.
No, that is not these are impressionable kids.
Right.
You're trying to tell them that somehow they can just switch to be a different gender.
Right.
So that's wrong. So I think some of it can be incredibly harmful.
Absolutely.
And but at the end of the day, it's not about individuals, adults, whatever. It's about what are you teaching to very young kids.
Right.
Should we be focusing on gender ideology or should we be focusing on math?
Right.
And reading and all the things that are really, really important. And I think most people think we should be focusing on the latter, not the former. That's just the reality. And look, underlying all these...
That's 100%.
I approve this message.
100%.
I approve this message.
Facts right there.
Right. And by teachers teaching this to young kids...
Come on, man.
Is teaching them confusion.
Big confusion.
Let
them know that's okay to change, like you just said,
and
from
make
a girl
them
to a
even
boy.
more confused.
Yeah.
And when you're confused at a young age, you don't know who you are. You're when you get these ideas put in your head, you're lost.
Yeah.
And it causes depression.
It's bad when you're an adult and you're confused.
Right.
So imagine being a child.
That causes
suicidal
thoughts
right. All
because they're
types of
so
stuff.
confused, not sure. What
getting
what
bullied
they
down
be.
at school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they feel like they can, like that's not cool. So
I approve this message 1,000%.
Yeah. And like he said, these news outlets are pushing
the agenda.
Certain news outlets are pushing this agenda, and that's just 100% facts.
This is what has me baffled. Like, I don't understand why the agenda is being pushed so hard on our children. I don't get it.
Because they know that our children are our future. So who's better off to push the agenda on than the ones who's going to take over the you know what I'm saying? So that's why but it's wrong. We all know that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But that's the reason why. Because they're like, okay, this is our future right here. So we got to teach them at a young age that this is what the agenda is going to be. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
it's
just dumb.
The world. Well, the future is going to be full of confusion.
Right.
Really, really important. And I think most people think we should be focusing on the latter, not the former. That's just the reality. And look, underlying all these kind of political back and forths on education, it's not just K-12, it's also higher ed, we see it. What is the purpose of our education system, whether it's an elementary school or whether it's a public university? Some say the purpose of it is to train students in a certain worldview. to use schools as an instrument of what they consider social justice and social change. There's others, which Florida believes, that it's really about education in the classical sense. It's about the pursuit of truth. It's about teaching kids how to think. It's about presenting facts to them and then letting them draw conclusions. And so there's a disagreement in our society about what the purpose is. I can tell you most universities in this country have gone in the direction of using education for ideology and for politics, and they've moved away from education in the classical sense.
Wow, and that's
we
true.
believe in that education as a classical sense. We believe it can be liberating for people to go through that. And how tired is it to sit there and think that just imposing some rote talking points from whatever the political skirmishes of the day are, that is a lasting form of education? I don't think it is at all. But when you're talking about things that are larger issues that have enduring relevance, those are things students will be able to carry with them for the rest of their lives. And so that's how we're approaching all of these issues. And I think if you start from that foundation, then something like gender ideology for a second grader, of course you wouldn't do that.
Right.
That's political. That's an agenda.
That's an agenda.
That's not something that is really going to stand the test of time.
Right.
And that's facts. Listen, that is 100% facts. You should not be teaching. There should be no gender ideology, period, whatsoever, because, like he just said, how that's going to help the world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to be teaching how to be an engineer, a doctor, a brain surgeon, math, science, biology. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, stop it. Stop it. Gender ideology, though?
Right.
Like, what?
But the cold part is it's linked with Black history, though.
Right.
That's linked with Black history.
Right.
Which, that's...
I'm recording right now.
That's not cool.
That's crazy.
It's not cool at all.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Gender ideology, though, that's what they're worried about teaching.
But the crazy part, like I said, is the fact that so many Black people are upset with Ron DeSantis for making this decision.
Right.
Which I feel every state should do the same thing.
And if it's truly based off what he's saying, 100% I'm behind it. 100% I'll back it. I'll stand on it. I'll vote for it in the whole 9 yards because they should not be teaching that. Period. Point blank.
But you have a lot of people wanting to move from Florida just because of this.
Well, it could be a lot of vacancies then, I guess. Huh? You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, y'all comment down below, man. Open up the conversation. Let's jump through some shout outs.
Okay, first shout out goes to Lady Viola. What's up, Lady Viola?
Lady Viola, we'd definitely love to hear from you. Comment down below. Let us know what your thoughts are about this one. We'll love to hear it.
Yes. Second shout out goes to, what you talking about? What's up? What you talking about?
What you talking about? Hey, shout out to you, man. Hope you definitely enjoyed that reaction. We definitely want to know or hear from you. Yes. Let us know what you think about it. So comment down below if you see the video, hear your name. Let us know what you think about it, man. We definitely love you guys.
Yes, we do.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
And this is crazy.
Right.
This was crazy. We'll catch y'all in the next one, though.
Yes.
Peace.
Peace.